look white. That's close enough.
All right, that's podcast. Is it?
Okay,
We've set up everything. Oh, we should have just filmed ourselves setting up for an hour. That would have been funnier. Honestly,
honestly, yeah.
What are we doing today? Happy Thanksgiving,
I don't know.
everybody.
I know I'm hungry.
It is. Oh, it is now Cyber Monday. Apparently, throw that up on the screen on this later on. Apparently, 99.5% of Black Friday deals are either the same price or not even deals at all.
Really?
Yes. That was a study that came out. They analyzed prices and stuff like that. And if you guys use this, there's this browser extension for Amazon. It's called Camel. It's called the Camelizer.
Camel.
Honestly?
Like the Mario song.
Exactly. And it checks to see if you've it checks to see the price history on that item. You know, if you click on it, it'll say, okay, like let's say, for example, this item's been $100 the whole year, and then it dropped down to $80, and you're like, okay, that's an actual discount. But what'll happen sometimes is they'll do, this item's been $100. Now we're gonna say it was $150 the week before, and it's marked down to $100, and that's how.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. Basically, you're like, oh shit, it used to be $150, now it's $100. Nice, I'm gonna get that. It's a deal. But with the Camelizer, it'll even tell you the price shut up and then we went right back down to the same price.
Yeah, so you see the history.
Sale. Yeah. So we're not sponsored by them, hopefully.
What do you mean, hopefully? We want to be sponsored by them.
No, I said we're not sponsored by them. And then in my head, I added a comma, but when you talk, you can't.
Yeah, you can't add commas.
Comma.
I need like a IRL, just comma.
Exactly.
Shoots out of my mouth. Just
exactly.
A flaming comma as a defensive mechanism too.
The comma's the pause, and you're like,
yeah.
Exactly. Attack all your enemies with it.
No, it specifically attacks people who don't like the Oxford comma.
Dude, the Oxford comma breathes life into me.
Exactly.
Like, how can you not realize that you need commas before the and? Because you're like, let's say, for example, if you're going, oh, you're comparing pears, apples, and oranges. You're not going, you compare pears, apples, and oranges. What the fuck is that about? Like, that's how I read it, because you need the comma before the and.
Also, why would you use food? Yeah, that literally made my stomach growl. Like, there was an actual sound that I heard. I was like,
it is Thanksgiving Day right now when we're recording. This comes out Cyber Monday.
I'm about to have breakfast.
Legit, like, we are starving. We haven't eaten for fucking 5, 10, 12 hours. Who knows how long it's been? It's been 34 years, basically.
Yes. We've been alone, trapped in a supermarket with all the food expired for like a decade and a half.
Exactly. Yeah, we've been sitting here for 3,000 years now without any food, and now it's the first Thanksgiving.
What do you mean? We always, Edward Sex Engine is just, we're just here sitting. Whenever the podcast ends, nothing else happens. Honestly, we just stay here quiet. Like,
the podcast ends, I click off. It gets immediately edited and uploaded, and we just sit here in slumber for the next.
Like, have you seen any Tucker Carlson stuff recently?
Tucker Carlson? You mean Tuck the Dick Carlson?
Yes.
Because he has to tuck his dick in between his legs?
Yes.
Okay. I have.
He's basically the new Alex Jones.
Dude, he's been like.
No, like legitimately. Like when YouTube took Alex Jones off of their platform, they created a power vacuum in that space.
Oh, and then Tucker Carlson took that.
Tucker Carlson took that position, and they can't remove Tucker Carlson because Fox News is seen as like a reputable news source, and people would riot.
Technically entertainment. It's technically entertainment.
Yes.
Even though his call is for violence and stuff like that. Like, I would understand if they censored like certain videos or like give a prelude saying like, oh, like violent things are said in this video, or calls to action, or how they like, you gotta categorize certain violent right-wing uprisings such as that
without mentioning everything involved.
Exactly, yeah. So like, if they could categorize them and give a little disclaimer, like, disclaimer, this video was found to have a little bit of misinformation, but because it's Fox News, we're going to allow it.
Yes.
So like, you can have it here for reference when you compare it to like news sources. And I'm not saying like, oh, go to CNN, because CNN's also had biased stuff, but like, BBC, fucking C-SPAN, the other place, where they're like, this is what happens.
The neutrals.
A man died and someone got shot, or like whatever, or they'll say like,
Kai in Real House, speaking of that, he walked free.
Oh, we talked about that. Yeah, we
didn't talk about how he got free. Like, he's
off.
already been cleared.
Oh, okay.
He got off.
I guess we didn't talk about that.
We talked about how we probably thought he was going to get incarcerated. Or no,
set
free.
He was probably going to get set free.
He was probably going to get set free because of,
fucking clairvoyance. He got set free.
He got set free.
He was dismissed, found not guilty. Found not guilty. Because that's the thing. You're not found innocent. You're just found you're guilty or not guilty. Because the thing is, the defense just has to prove there's a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But they
Yeah.
overcharged him, which is where they fucked up. Because if they had charged him with like manslaughter or like creating an unsafe environment, because as we've seen, nobody else there died except for the people that he killed. No one else. There was no other incidents of like, hey, someone fucking got shot, someone died. It was just him. He's the only one. And it's like, if they had been able to charge him for manslaughter or neglect or something else, but they went for murder, because murder is different. Because murder is like, okay, murder, he meant to kill them. You know, manslaughter could be like, yeah, it was self-defense, but then you can argue like, oh, if it was manslaughter, it's an accidental killing because he shouldn't have been there. And there was a bunch of stuff they could have brought up that they just
never
didn't.
did.
Yeah, like why didn't they bring up the videos of him saying, oh man, I want to go out with an AR-15 and I want to go like shoot some liberals? You know, I mean, not verbatim.
It would have colored the jury, but I still think they should have let it go because I mean it's pertinent to the thing.
Yeah, exactly. If they hadn't overcharged him.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But because they overcharged him, the prosecution was a whole fucking mess. He was like, oh, your TikTok name is Booty Lover 69. Is that true? And he was like, yep. And then like it was some ridiculous name. Fuck. It was like whores something like that. Basically, some ridiculous name. And he was like bringing that up as like, oh, do you guys not see that this guy is not like a right person or whatever? A whole bunch of bullshit. The prosecution was terrible. It was like
it was a whole thing. It was a whole mess.
It should not have happened like that.
No. Oh, have you seen the two new episodes of Hawkeye?
We'll get to that after these messages.
I have.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, just kidding. Okay, then we'll
never get back to this again.
We'll never get back to this episode at least. No, I was gonna say. So okay, so Ghislaine Maxwell, whoever, she was like, she helped traffic a lot of people, groom kids, a whole bunch of fucked up stuff, and they're like, hopefully she doesn't get killed too, because if she gets killed, then like, oh, that's it. Like
she's been 15 months in solitary confinement.
Exactly. So
that does not leave a person normal again. Which I mean,
it's.
I really don't care.
I mean, no sympathy to her, but also like we need information on her.
Yeah.
Because if she goes crazy, then you can't get information on her. That's the other thing, you know.
Zero. Well, also beyond that, like just solitary confinement just shouldn't be a thing.
Dude, honestly,
it's basically torture.
It's legal torture.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, you're solitary confinement because you may be a danger to others, right? Like, okay, I understand putting them like. Let's say maximum like 6 hours in the hole or whatever, right? Because I mean, you start to get psychological damage after a while,
yeah,
right? But like, let's say they put him like, he's a danger to others. We'll put him by himself, right? Okay, but they're putting him in like a completely white room with lights on, like they can't sleep.
Well, it's
no
deprivation.
Like,
that's basically what it is.
Yeah, sleep deprivation. You start going crazy because you can't keep track of time. You don't know how much time has passed. You know how many days it's been. Like I remember Vsauce Michael here.
Yes.
When he did that experiment, like everyone was like crying because they're like, "Holy shit! Is he gonna be okay?" Like they don't even know. He had like he had long lasting. I don't want to say permanent. He had long lasting psychological damage from that experiment he did. He just did an experiment. He was like, "Okay, let me see if I can."
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. How long did he only lasted? Like,
no, he lasted the full thing.
Did he? Because I remember him reaching. He was reaching for the. Oh yeah. No, just kidding. I do remember that because I remember him reaching for the door, being like, and they're like, "Oh my god, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it?" And he's like, all I dream about now is this room. I don't dream about anything else. Everything has consumed me. This is the room. Like this is it. You know, because in your head you think, okay, yeah, you know, okay. Hypothetically, if you put him there like overnight, let's say, if you put him in a hole overnight, that's fine. You know, because in my head it's like, okay, you get them away from the general population. They're gonna go to sleep anyway, whatever, right? And then you wake up. How are they feeling or whatever, or put them in a cell by themselves with still stuff to do. You don't put them because that, like you said, it's legal torture.
Yeah.
And so in his
it's the deprivation part, not the being isolated per se part. It's the fact that they have no stimuli.
Exactly, and your brain starts to like trick itself. And he was like, I believe some time has passed. Now it might be like the second day or so, and it was like
2 hours.
Yeah, no, it was
some absurd like
it was like midnight. It was like midnight because he went to sleep and he didn't know how long he'd been asleep for.
Because the fluorescent lights are
exactly. So he woke up and he was like, I feel like it's like the next morning already, but it was only like 2 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
And not too long had passed, and he like ate his other meal and stuff, and it was like, were his meals only white rice and stuff? Or it's funny because Michael actually met Michael from Vsauce at 7-Eleven.
True.
We're never finishing any of these stories. Okay, so let's finish. Okay,
those
Michael.
Cigarettes, right?
I don't remember.
I think he went in to buy some cigarettes, and then our Michael was like, "Hey, Michael."
Yeah. Hey, Michael from Vsauce.
7-Eleven here.
Honestly, 7-Eleven, Mike. Oh,
Hey, 7-Eleven, Michael here.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael. Yeah, because hey, 7-Eleven, Michael here. That's a good intro. But yeah, so
I already watched that episode so many times.
Which one? The sleep deprivation one?
Sleep the all of the whole
Oh,
series, the brain
oh, I haven't seen
stuff.
the whole, no, I saw that one, but it was like I like
They were all funny. Well, fun.
wow, except for the sleep deprivation one. I was like,
No, that one was funny too.
what? I was all right, all right.
Don't you just like enjoying seeing a grown
Psychological
man
torture,
psychological
slowly
torture?
go mad. I know. After like 3 days, he's like,
Don't
all
you
I
just
dream about.
like the corruption of an individual to the point where they're no longer themselves
Exactly.
and they're just dying in
It was them.
Oh, like what's that one movie with the claymation with the cats invading Earth in the year like fucking 3 billion or some shit?
Cats invading Earth claymation.
Yes. And they have like stupid like pun names like the feline force is like it's like their CIA or whatever the fuck. And then like humans make sentient robots to fight against them. Like it's fucking stupid and
It
hilarious.
says Clay Cats the Raid. I don't know.
No,
Cat
no,
Planet
no.
Cuties, claymation cats. I don't know. Are you sure it was claymation or was it just cartoon?
No,
Or was it like CGI real life?
no. It was like it looked like Wallace and Gromit,
Oh, I don't know.
like stop
No.
motion,
Stop motion? Because
but not really stop motion. Well, 'cause stop motion is like different things, but
Earth
like it was like Wallace and Gromit style movie.
Meow is a 2017 Hong Kong science fantasy comedy film. Adopts an alien cat who was sent to invade Earth. Nah, I don't think this is gonna be it. Walt Disney Productions, The Cat from Outer Space? Maybe?
Maybe.
Let me see. No, because I don't think that one's stop motion either. 1978. The Cat from Outer Space. 1978 film from Walt Disney. It says, what does it say? No, that's a real life cat. So they trained a real cat.
Hmm.
That darn cat. That's why it's called That Darn Cats. That's funny. Walt Disney, That Darn Cat. Who'd have thunk? He had a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Well,
That Walt Disney chap makes a lot of movies.
That fellow. I wonder if he's bankrolled by the Jewish people. Probably not.
No, probably not.
Walt Disney was a Nazi. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Disney was a Nazi.
basically. Volkswagen made Nazi cars and stuff too. But I mean, they
Hugo and Boss
they had.
was like designed the Nazi uniforms.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you think of it that way, it's like they kind of had to. You know, it's like.
Did they though?
Well,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
a
at least
German
for Hugo and
company,
Boss.
and they were.
At least for Hugo and Boss, he was enthusiastic about getting on the Nazi before they had power. On the Nazi party before they had power.
Then maybe that Hugo Boss guy was not such a boss after all.
Exactly. Fanta is also a Nazi.
Who?
Fanta.
Fanta?
Yeah.
The drink?
Don't you want a Fanta? Fanta? Don't you want a Fanta? Fanta?
Orange sodas lied to me. I'm now.
That's why they were orange.
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, when the war started, you know, the U.S. embargo thingy, so Coke couldn't sell to there, and so but the factories and the stuff they were producing were still open and operational.
I guess.
So they just created Fanta, and then so when the war was over, Coca-Cola was like, "Hey, your Fanta is our Fanta."
I mean, dude, that same thing that happened like when Alex Jones always goes Operation Paperclip, Operation Paperclip. You got to look it up. Operation Paperclip was Nazis being recruited by the U.S. For the space program and stuff like that, and they got integrated into NASA, into the FBI. And I mean, like you say, like, oh, it's Nazi because they were bad, but like most of these scientists were most likely forced to as well.
We don't know that. We don't know the intentions of the individuals.
Exactly.
Saying that they were all just forced
Blanket
to
terms.
is like as
Blanket
it's
terms.
just as bad as saying that they were all, you know. But what we can say is that they were all complicit in the participation of the execution of a bunch of Jewish people.
That's true. Because I mean, there were some pretty fucked up Nazi scientists who, in the name of science, like vivisected people and all that kind of stuff, you know. And yeah, maybe they did.
At the very least, they were all complicit.
Dude, like there was a 100-year-old Nazi that was on trial for being like a guard or something. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, he was on trial like a few weeks ago for something.
Oh
like that.
fuck!
They never forget, and it's crazy because.
Wait till Friday. You're up till latest news on Nazi executions.
Exactly. You come to us for breaking Nazi news. I mean, no, not Nazi news. We're not Nazi news. Okay. News.
Nazi executions.
Exactly. Nazi execution news.
Executions, where you execute them with eggs.
Dude,
dude,
so
imagine
old.
that would hurt. Like imagine just a bunch of shrapnel, like egg shards, getting like flung straight into your eye. Just
Jesus, just kill me at that point. Just gas me at that point. My God. So no, I'm not Jewish. So technically, that was not a Jewish joke either. I was just saying my preferred method of death, gassing. Imagine they
I think it'd
farted
be
on you to death.
overdose. Oh no.
They're like, "How do you want to be executed? You get shot, electrocuted, or gassed?" And you're like, "Gassed." And then you sit in the room. There's like a fat guy there, and you're like, "What's going on?" And he starts going. You're
Gassing
like,
you.
"Oh God."
No. Oh, no,
You're
I
like,
was thinking it
"No."
was like the fucking
Sponsored by
cyanide and
Chipotle.
happiness. The cyanide and happiness is just a random guy coming out of a corner with his ass to your face.
Honestly,
Just-
ugh.
What are you fucking talking about?
Vsauce Michael here. So Vsauce Michael there.
Loving
He,
Michael
he
here.
he almost went insane. In his experiment. But yeah, it basically proved that it was like torture. Because even for a normal person that thinks, yeah, I'm headed into this, I'm prepared for this. Let's go in and we'll see what's going on. But nah, it was too much.
Yeah.
And like the people, they were like crying because they're like, Jesus,
I
we're
kinda wanna
watching
do
it
that.
slowly unfold. Oh no, no, you don't. That's what you say. But then after like a few hours, you're like,
Oh no,
man,
I want to do it with the full knowledge that once I come out of it, I'm gonna regret it for the rest of my life.
no. Oh,
That doesn't change anything.
like waterboarding. They were like, waterboarding's not even that bad. And then they tortured one of the generals for like a few seconds, and he was like, yeah, that's like the worst thing ever. Like,
Yeah. Oh
the
well,
worst
yeah,
thing.
it's fucking drowning without fucking drowning. It's
I wa-
fucking
I want to
worst fucking shit.
see like,
At that point, just drown me.
yeah, legit. And the reason waterboarding is like people will be like, oh, waterboarding challenge or whatever, and it's like it's not even anything. But the reason waterboarding is also that bad is because you don't know when it's gonna stop.
You also don't know when it's gonna start.
Oh, that yeah.
At
that
any
too.
point, they could
That
just
too.
drag you out.
And you're being held down. Like in most of the waterboarding challenges, they just sit up real quick and go, oh man, that was bad. That was bad. But it's like, no. A real thing would be them going, no, stop. And then you continue for like a few more
Yeah.
seconds. I mean, it's torture, but
A few more
yeah, it's like the
seconds
worst
or a minute or until they decide.
kind. They're already passed out because
Yeah.
they're drowning in their own stuff. They could not decide. So he passed out before he could decide.
Yeah. Oh,
But
nope.
that's on me,
Nope.
fellas.
Yep.
So we
My
accidentally,
bad. We'll just kill
accidentally
this one.
drowning
Get the
someone.
next one.
Exactly. Accidentally drowning someone. My God. Prank. Gone
Prank.
wrong.
Oh,
Gone
what's that
wrong.
one channel? Boyfriend girlfriend pranks. Gone.
This one?
Yeah.
I don't watch.
I don't know.
I don't want to say
I
don't
only
watch
know
clickbait, but
tangentially. I know from in the general YouTube sphere. I think they broke up because of their YouTube channel. Actually, the YouTube channel
It was too
created so
much?
much stress that they just ended up breaking up.
I mean, what do you expect? Like if you're doing like if it's like pranks, because I understand vlogs and stuff. Like
Even
they film each
vlogs
other's.
too.
No, I know. I was gonna say like even just vlogs can get stressful. So imagine pranks where they're like actively torturing each other and they're
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, when's the next one gonna be filmed?" I mean, even if they're rehearsed and stuff, I'm pretty sure there's still some where they're like, "That was a little too fucked up." And they're like, "Yeah, it's fine. We got a
Well,
bunch
even
of
just competing with the algorithm, having to come up with like good pranks with
more
each
and
other.
more
Yeah,
ridiculous
more and more.
things."
The more and
Step
more
it
your
up.
relationship becomes just that, like the business.
The more toxic, the more views you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, honestly, it's so bad. Like there's so many people that are like famous and you're like, these people are predators, abusers, and like straight up psychopaths. And the YouTube algorithm's like, here, watch them. And then you get people going, these people are abusers, psychopaths. And then they're like, not put in.
Nothing.
Like, oh, the funniest thing was there was like a clip of something terrible that like it was like the Ace family or someone that they put up, right? And then someone posted that and then their video got taken down. And it was like, what? Oh,
What?
H3 on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
He James Charles did something really dumb, right? Like something fucked up. And then he just sat there and watched and was like, wow. And then his video got taken down for harassment.
Why?
Even though all he was doing was reacting to
Yeah.
it. Like not even saying anything, but he was
Not
just
saying
going,
anything bad.
he was just watching going. And like David Dobrik, he'd react H3 would react to David Dobrik. Ethan would also react to
Ethan.
David Dobrik videos and stuff like that. And they would get taken down citing harassment. It's like, or violence and stuff. And it's like, the original video is still up with millions of views.
Yeah.
And you're saying the repost is taken down because it's like violent or whatever? Like, what? Like, that's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the original video should be taken down.
Exactly. But I don't know. They don't take down the original video. It's a whole fucking racket.
It's the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tired of the whole world basically at this point.
Honestly.
It feels like there's honestly there's no place safe from scams.
Except here at Broke Till Friday.
Exactly.
Subscribe right now. Go online. Buy the
Your
Uranium
one safe
238.
haven. Make sure you buy your one wipe from
Exactly.
the store.
Exactly.
Fuck
We're
it. How
selling-
much does Alex Jones sell that shit for?
I don't even know.
It's like $9,000 for a one
which
wipe.
one? A wipe?
A wipe. A one wipe.
Alex Jones Wait, is it called One Wipe or what is it called?
No, it's like the for the thing like when you
Taint wipes.
taint wipe. Yeah.
That's hilarious. That was in 2017.
Oh, I don't know. I just remembered it right now. Used to sell taint wipes.
That's hilarious. Using fear to upsell taint wipes.
Yeah.
That's $1 million taint wipes.
Ah, it was $1 million. There we go. Make sure you buy your $1 million taint
John
wipes right from our
Oliver.
store.
John Oliver selling $1 million taint wipes.
Oh,
inspired
it's
by
not.
Alex
It's not
Jones.
Alex Jones. What was Alex Jones? I know his was an absurd price too.
Let's see. I'm trying to see what he was selling because they're saying like, yeah, it was really dumb. Let's see. A competing version of Alex Jones taint wipes. Yeah. So 45 for a jar of chocolate flavored chicken juice.
Ugh.
What the fuck?
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Tactical wet wipes. They're called tactical wet wipes. Tactical wet wipes for $10. Unleash the power of one with this broad spectrum hygiene tactical bath. Combat One tactical bath. What the fuck? Don't tell me there's just one. 8 cloths for $10.
$10, $1 a cloth, basically.
What the fuck? Imagine Alex Jones wiping his perineal area.
Oh, dude, that's disgusting. I don't want to imagine Alex Jones anything. The only
What you're
time
gonna do is you're gonna reach underneath and then
the only time I find an image of Alex Jones funny is the one where like they photoshopped him into Minecraft.
what?
And he's like the creeper, like they hit him, and he starts going after. Like it's like when the dude like put a video camera to his face or whatever the fuck, and he like fucking smacked him.
Oh,
He started chasing after him. Off camera.
So, you ever been to Trefani's?
The fuck is a Trefani?
Trefani's restaurant, steakhouse. You never been there before?
But I want sloppy steaks.
You can't have sloppy steaks. They said no sloppy steaks. You remember that one, right?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say as a refresher, but if I put like the entire clip up, it gets claimed.
Yeah.
So, if you guys haven't seen it, there's this Netflix show called "I Think You Should Leave" with Tim Robinson. It is. Remember that?
Yes.
No sloppy sticks. No sloppy sticks.
Yes. I remember.
I'll throw in that.
was
I'll throw in that
hilarious.
little clip.
Yeah.
Because the whole sketch is like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
But I'll throw in a little clip of no sloppy sticks. So. Yeah, and they can't stop you from ordering steak and water. Yeah. So
Why? That's
Trefani's
so nasty.
Trefani's restaurant.
Just like thinking of like meat
No
and
sloppy
water touching my tongue at the same time. It's
It's just doused in water, right? So actually, binging with Babish, he actually did.
who the fuck is
Trefani's-
binging with Babish?
Are you serious? Nah, you're fucking with me, right? You know binging with Babish?
No,
Dude, you're on YouTube so much more. You
I
don't
have
know binging
no
with
fucking
Babish.
clue who binging.
The bald guy who does the
I've-
cooking stuff.
See, you say bald guy. The one thing I know binging Babish, because like I've heard the name before, right? And the one thing I know about him is that this other dude that I watch called Simon Whistler, he's this bald dude with glasses and a beard. And like the thing I know binging with Babish from is that he's always complaining about being called binging with Babish. Like he's always like, I'm not binging with Babish. You know, I'm not Michael from Vsauce. We're all the same.
This guy, binging with Babish.
That
Bald guy with the beard.
legitimately looks like Simon Whistler.
He looks like him, you mean. That's what you mean. Scotch eggs. And yeah.
I have no idea who it is, not gonna lie.
Wow, you have got to watch. He is pretty good because he just makes stuff from TV shows and movies and stuff.
Mm.
So like let's see if I sort from his most popular video is Ratatouille, which is Ratatouille from Ratatouille.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
literally
yeah.
makes.
This is Ratatouille.
He's made a Krabby Patty. He's made Krabby Supreme, Jake's Perfect Sandwich from Adventure Time, a grilled cheese deluxe from Regular Show. Oh, that one looks good. Why are we talking about food?
I'm
I know.
starving. You
Okay. Binging with Babish made the sloppy steak video, and he said it wasn't even that bad because
Yeah. It's just
he
water, but the
Exactly.
texture, I feel like it would like my tongue.
Yeah, it's like it's not good, right?
Yeah.
And then he made an actual like sloppy steak where instead of making it water, he made it gravy. And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And so he does that. He'll make the show or movie accurate version where he'll go, they said it was this, and this, so I made it with this, and this, and it came out pretty good, or it's bad, or whatever.
And this is the real life
And
version.
then, yeah, if I want to make a real life version, this is my take on it because he's like a professional chef, all that kind of stuff. So while you eat your Thanksgiving, while you eat your Cyber Monday deals. Oh my goodness, back to deals actually.
Deals, yes.
Okay, so before we got into Kyle Rittenhouse,
I'm gonna
So-
buy another Loki pin because there's 25% off on all the pins that came out this year. So I'm gonna buy another Loki pin, put it on my hat.
But do you need it?
No.
But do you want it?
Yes.
Consume, people. That is the number one goal of capitalism.
Also, because I want another sticker thing, because I got 2 Dionysus ones, and on the other side's gonna have Loki. So I want it to be symmetrical. And since it's only like $10, I don't know.
And this is for reference.
Capitalism.
This is no. This is Norse accurate Loki. This isn't that one guy on Ragnarok or whatever.
Norse accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. A different version of it, but
yeah.
So the statistic, 99.5% of deals are not deals, and I can tell you that's 100% true as someone who works in retail, because all of the TVs that are there, they're all like saying, "Oh, this is a deal. This is amazing." And it's like Black Friday, you get $150 off this TV. But I'm like, that TV was, so let's say for a $500 TV, it's been $499 since I can remember, right? Original price $550, but then it'll say it's $499, original price $650, and people will be like, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm like, yeah, it's really dishonest and stuff. But you know how that is.
Yeah.
Like AirPods have been $200. They say they're actually $249, but they're on sale right now for $199. You know, but they've been $200 since I can fucking remember since forever.
What?
And the Black Friday sale, they were $189. Oh, you save $10. I mean, if you need a pair or whatever, yeah,
Taxes.
get them. Yeah, exactly. But it's like there were a couple of good deals. I'll be like there was a Switch, Nintendo Switch with Mario Kart 8 on it, $299 plus 3 months of Nintendo. That's a good deal, right?
$299.
Yeah, which a Switch is $300 usually, right? $300 game, sorry, $300 console plus a $60 game plus.
Oh,
I don't know how much 3 months costs.
Yes. So you're basically just paying for the Switch and getting a bunch of free shit along with it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a bundle. That's a deal for Christmas. You know, your kid gets a game along with the Switch. That's pretty good, right? Okay. And then there was that one TV, 65-inch brand new frameless TV for $299. That's a fucking deal too. You know, but that was like I think that's the only 2 deals that I saw. And Edward's dancing because he got it.
Yeah, I got it.
How's it been so far?
Thanks to you.
How's it been so far?
I haven't installed it yet.
And thanks to me.
It's because the ARM that we have, it doesn't support it. It only supports up to 50.
Yeah, no, you don't want to mess around with that stuff. Because
Yeah.
even if you're like, yeah, it fits it right now. Yeah, and then like a week later, and there goes your
$300.
TV. I mean, it's not even $300 TV because to be fair, like that one was the one that was an actual deal because it fucking sold out so fast.
Instantly.
And I saw people on Reddit complaining, going like, this isn't even good. Like, it's not even it's this Roku TV. Like, it's gonna be cheap, blah blah. And in my head, I'm like, a TV is a TV to anyone.
Yeah.
Outside of absolute like, I'm gonna be a connoisseur. I've got to have my 120 hertz. Like, if you're gonna use a TV for day-to-day stuff, you're not gonna
tell the difference.
Yeah.
You can't even really tell the difference when you specialize in like gaming or something. When you really like gaming,
Honestly,
you can't even really tell the difference, to be honest.
The only thing I tell the difference is when I'm playing video games. If I'm playing a video game, like if I'm playing Fortnite on 144 frames, if I look at it on 60 frames, then I'm like, okay, I can tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, you know what? I'm never gonna ever use a 60 hertz monitor if I absolutely have to. Or I'm telling you, like, if you find a deal on a 4K TV this season, don't feel bad if someone is like, you could have gotten this one for just a little bit more, because like they'll be saying like, oh, a Samsung TV has all these features. Like, realistically, you're gonna use
when are you gonna use them?
You click Netflix, you click Hulu, you click Disney Plus.
That's it.
What else do you do?
Yeah,
Amazon
Nothing.
Prime, maybe, or
maybe
streaming services, right?
Streaming services.
You're not really using them for like, oh, I'm gonna set up my audio setup and sync all my stuff together. No, like
No one's doing
your
that.
dad goes, on tal Netflix, ahí está. ¿Y el Hulu cuál es? That one. ¿Y el Disney? Okay. Okay, está bien. And then you change the channel, and he was like, I was watching that. And you're like, Dad, you've been asleep. And he's like, okay.
It's been 3 years.
Honestly.
The cat already has kittens, and they're both on your head.
Exactly.
What are you gonna do there?
Yeah, when your dad's like, you gotta get up at 6 a.m. I'm always up at 6 a.m. Him at 5 p.m. Fucking asleep. Knocked out.
Just completely dead. And then
Yeah.
you're like, once you wake up at like 9 or something, or 10 or whatever, you're just awake until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. So it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so get a TV.
Yeah.
Any
Like today, I
TV,
think I fell
if you
asleep
get a
at
good-
like 7.
Oh, that's not good.
I fell asleep at 7. I woke up at 12.
Yeah, it's 5 hour solid.
Sleep. That's all.
A tight 5.
Yeah.
Tight 5 hours of
You
sleep.
just got a lean,
Muscle
mean
through it.
fighting machine.
Exactly. Knocks out. But yeah, like if you get a good deal on a TV, don't be afraid of getting like an off brand. Like people come in going, I only want LG, I only want Samsung.
Yeah.
Like they're like these snobs.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I had a TCL since forever because I got the 55-inch 2 years ago. No, sorry, 3 years ago for $299, and that was a deal back then. And I'm like, that's a great fucking deal, and it worked for everything I needed it for.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is maybe not like 23-inch TVs,
24-inch.
24-inch or whatever the fuck. Because the one that I have before I bought this one, it was just so slow and laggy.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say there. Oh, that's the other thing. Some people are like, oh, it's gonna be laggy and stuff, but for you, it's not gonna matter because you're gonna have the Fire Stick plugged into
Fire
it,
Stick.
and it runs off the Fire Stick, dude. The Fire Stick Max
Battery.
is fucking fast. So if you guys can't, honestly, just get yourself a dumb TV and a Fire Stick. That's like the fastest way to do it.
That's it.
So you don't worry about like, oh, is my Samsung TV gonna give me a bunch of ads? Yes. Is my fucking LG TV gonna be spying on me?
Yes.
Yes. Like all these fucking things. Just get yourself a
Yeah.
dumb TV, plug in a Fire Stick, and is a Fire Stick gonna be spying you?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, probably.
Maybe. Probably. If
Probably.
it has
It's
Alexa,
Amazon. They're gonna be spying on you more than anyone else.
for sure.
They want all of them juicy habits.
Exactly. Daddy
Oh, I
Bezos
kinda want
knows
the habit.
all my kinks. Habit, you said.
As long as you try them on them first.
Can I wax his head like a bowling ball? That's my fetish. Waxing billionaire heads. Waxing billionaire heads. That's my fetish.
My fetish.
My
No,
fetish is taxing the rich. Yeah, I beat you to it. My real fetish. Oh, let's tax the rich. Oh yeah, baby, give them taxes. Daddy Bezos pay up. Or Bezos will no longer be the dom. He's gonna be
the sub.
He's gonna be a sub to the U.S. tax system.
Well,
Daddy
no, 'cause
IRS.
right now he's technically the sub.
No, he's fucking controlling
That's
everything.
fine. Well,
It's not a
you
sub.
when you're a dom and a sub dictates when you stop.
I thought isn't it dominant and sub whatever?
Yeah,
the
but
fucking-
you can't do anything as a dom without the sub's consent. So the sub really is the one dictating when you stop and when you don't.
Isn't there like that one type where it's like consent, non-consent, where it's like
Yeah, but that's with the express consent of the sub before any of the play. But then the
that's
sub
thing.
can also just cancel it at any time.
With the tax system, that's how it works. So because
that's
as
fine.
a billionaire, the second he became a billionaire, or even just a millionaire, second he became a millionaire with enough like power or enough money or whatever, he became the U.S. was like, here's my consent, non-consent. So now you can.
Oh
you,
yeah,
you
I
can
guess so.
rail
I
me
guess
up
so,
against
yeah.
the wall. The IRS tax
I
system
guess
is just
so.
taking it the whole time.
Yeah,
And-
that works.
So that's what happens. So let's just tax, dude.
Let's just tax the rich. I don't know why we're going through all these euphemisms. Just tax the rich. It's
Exactly.
fine.
Tax the rich,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Let's
The
cut the
euphemisms
shit.
get too complicated. Just fucking take all their money, put them in the dirt hole. It's fine.
Not all their money. I'll give you this. How about this? Instead of taxing them and killing them, we'll the second they hit $1 billion,
They get a trophy.
They get a trophy. All their assets get sold, and they start again from zero.
Yes.
Let's do that every single time.
You won capitalism. Now respawn.
Exactly. Game over. Game over.
Game
right?
over.
Next one.
Next one.
Nah, because then they're just gonna want to hide more money in the Cayman Islands. I mean, they're already hiding money in the Cayman Islands.
they're already
Fuck
just
these
close
people.
them. Yeah.
Can we
fuck
just
'em.
get the world government together so we can already tax people? Like
the one world government?
the one world government. You gotta find out. The lizards. And the people that are drinking baby blood. And the school shooting was real. Dude.
Turn the freaking frogs game.
Oh my god, I know. Like, it's so fucked up what he's done to like the Sandy Hook victims and stuff.
Oh yeah. He's
I
getting
was-
sued by that. No. Like
Oh, he lost.
He
He
lost.
lost because he did not turn in all the. He didn't turn in like the paperwork. He was like, "Oh, there's paperwork that proves it." Nothing. It's all fucked up.
Oh.
And dude, like, it was so. I was looking at posts the other day about like all the kids and stuff, and I was getting all fucking sad. I was
Oh,
so
yeah,
depressing.
yeah.
It's children, like dead children.
Yeah, it's
and there
dead
was,
children.
this
Like,
one
there's
kid-
got to be something wrong if you're not directly
you-
come to front to it. Then you're not like
This is not fucked up. Or you're
What?
just like, huh, yeah, that kid died. No, it was like
dead.
the 7-year-old who screamed and he was like, "Guys, run!" And then he died later. It's like, fuck, dude. I'm like, seeing their poor little faces. There was these New York Times cartoons, like the political cartoons were so fucking sad because it was like right before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
And it was like Santa Claus delivering presents to like heaven and stuff. And I was like, right in
My
the heart, dude.
heartstrings.
Dude, legit. Oh, this world's so fucking fucked up.
So next on
So-
Suicide Watch.
Honestly, no, but I got a little
Yeah,
too
I
real
got a little
for
too
a
real.
second. Tax the rich.
Tax the rich.
I don't know how we got to Sandy Hook, but it's Alex Jones. The
Yeah,
one
Alex
more
Jones.
government. Okay.
Tax Alex Jones. Specifically, you know what? There's
doesn't
got to be a
have any
law
assets.
specifically in Tax Alex Jones.
The Alex Jones Amendment,
Yes.
ratified in the Constitution, passed with 100%, except for 99%. Marjorie Taylor Greene was the only one not passing
Yes.
it. That bitch is Q, fucking
You.
crazy. They've been waiting there for 3 weeks now. At the point of this recording, they've been there for 3 weeks. 3 fucking weeks waiting for JFK Jr. to come back at the grassy knoll where his father died. If any of you guys don't know, JFK Jr. has been dead for more than 30 years, I think.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know why they think that a Democrat is going to come back from the dead and then tell them to vote for Trump. What kind of fuck? This is like saying
JFK was probably like bi or gay.
Why?
He had this
Guy coming in.
friend who would
His roommate.
his roommate. They call him the first friend, or like, because you know how they call the first lady, they call him the first friend.
Ooh, the first escort.
And like they were best friends from like their time in
Forever
college,
ago.
and like they spent a lot
His
of time.
his
He made a lot of
experimenting.
exceptions for him, like strangely so.
He made an exception in the ass for him.
Maybe.
Well, we'll never know because JFK got fucking 360
Yeah.
no scoped. See, that tragedy we can joke about because that wasn't a kid. 9/11. So the Holocaust. We made a joke about that
Yes,
earlier.
yes.
Today. Oh, there were a lot of kids.
This is just all dark humor takes. This dark humor. of the past.
demonetized immediately.
Yes.
Make sure that you're with your family, not out there spending shit, because unless you've been tracking something that you wanted to buy and been waiting for the right time,
Yeah.
it goes on sale. Yeah, that's fine. You know, if you're like, oh, I've been waiting for like a video game for my kid or whatever, you know, whatever it is. If you've been waiting for it, it goes on sale. That's perfectly fine. Like a lot of people didn't know that the 21st was for Target at least. They did the whole week of Black Friday stuff, right?
Mhm.
So Target, Walmart, they started like on the 21st for
Yeah.
the sales. So it was a little busy on the
Same
21st.
with Amazon.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
they started
the,
early.
the whole Black Friday week.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't know. So they came in Monday going, "Hey, where's the Switch with like the games?" And we're like, "Oh, we're already sold out." And people were like, "What?" And so, yeah, they didn't know. Ah, dude. So we had 2 resellers come in that day. It was the best. Okay, the first one sucked, but the
Yes,
second one
yes,
was
yes.
awesome.
Explain.
because- So these resellers, right? They're huge pieces of shit because they scalpers basically. They come in with just thousands of dollars of gift cards that I don't know how you legitimately get thousands of dollars of gift cards, but I'm gonna just say you don't.
You don't.
Yeah, it's either they're scamming people, they're buying them super cheap off of someone who's already money laundering. Like for example, you have $1 million in fake money, you buy a bunch of gift cards, you come out with $500,000 in profit. That's $500,000 in cash, but you sold all these gift cards for cheap because of that, right?
Yeah.
But that's money laundering, you know? Okay. So, and then the scalpers buy the gift cards for cheap on sale, or they'll be doing IRS scams. The FBI took down a ring of them in February of 2021 because they were just doing that over and over again, right? And so these Middle Eastern guys, they come in, and it's always Middle Eastern guys that get like
Caught.
No. They always get aggressive. Like, cause there's these other resellers that come in, and like not even being like, oh, it's them, like, but because they come in asking for the exact same stuff. Like, these Asian guys will come in and they'll always be like, oh, iPad, and like, they never, they don't speak too much English because sometimes I'll try to explain to them. I'll be like, we have a store policy where you can buy this item, but you need half of it on a credit or debit card, a physical credit or debit card, and then half of it. The other half you can pay on a gift card. It's fine. But usually they don't have credit or debit cards.
Yeah.
So they go, oh, okay, never mind. And then they leave. But sometimes when I try to explain to them, they take out like a little translator app speaking to it. Like we've had whole ass conversations
Yeah.
over a phone basically because they don't speak much English. And like that's just from what I've seen. There's some that'll come in and, they'll go, yeah, I want the iPad Pro. I have the DPCI. And like they'll come with the item number. And I'm like, okay, that's a scalper because they come in with the item number, the serial number, whatever it is that they're looking for. They know exactly how many we have. Like how the fuck do you know my inventory better than me? Like a whole thing because they've been asking at other stores.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's what they do. So these Middle Eastern guys, they always get rowdy.
But why the fuck is an item number important? Isn't it just
to
the
look
iPad?
it up.
iPad?
No, because they look it up. So like they'll say, a black iPad and then a pink iPad will have 2 different item numbers. That's why it'll be like for like just throwing out numbers. It's like black iPad 64 gigs is 1234. Black iPad 128 is 134 is 1235 and like et cetera, and then
Yeah.
so that kind of stuff. So Sunday these guys come in and they're like, so what's the limit on Switches? And I'm like, all right, buddy, like first tip, that's a reseller, right? And I was like, oh well, it's just limit one per customer. He's like, oh okay, can I get one? I was like, sure. I was like, and he's like, can I get an Oculus Rift too? And I was like, an Oculus, like another $299 thing. So I was like, okay, this guy's a reseller for sure. They always come in asking for the Oculuses, Switches, iPads, all the high value stuff, Beats, anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he comes in, asks for that. I'm like, okay, whatever. I bring him and I'm like, yeah. So we do need half of the total payment on a credit or debit card, then the other half can be on the gift card. And he's like, oh, okay, never mind, bro, never mind. And he was like, and it's funny because when he came in, he was like, I want a Switch and an Oculus for me, and a Switch and an Oculus for my uncle over there. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's your
Yeah.
uncle. But two Middle Eastern guys, they always do that. So they leave. He comes back later. And he's like, oh, you know what? Like a little 5-10 minutes. Comes back and he's like, yeah, you know what? We'll take the Switch, just Switch. I was like 50%. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, okay. And so like, so why'd you guys start doing that? And like, oh, because asset protection, the security, they want to really crack down on resellers and things like that. He's like, oh man, you guys hate us that much? And I was like, in my head, I'm already running the reseller prompt because it
Yeah.
says Target reserves the right to deny service to resellers. Resellers are defined as people who are buying goods not for themselves, but with the purpose of selling it
Yeah.
for
Again,
value, right?
on
Again.
secondary markets.
Exactly, right? So that kind of tipped me off, and I was like, wait, you're a reseller? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh, then dude, you shouldn't have said that because I can't sell it to you anymore. And he goes like, what? Why not? Why not? And exact same thing I just said. I read the reseller policy off verbatim because it's stuck right there in front of us because it's a rule. It's a policy. I read off. I'm like, I can't sell it to you, man. I'm sorry about that. I won't be able to sell it. He's like, why not? Why? Let me get a manager or something. I'm like, they're going to tell you the same thing. We call over security. Security comes over. They tell him the exact same thing. Manager reads it off. They're like, yeah, I mean, and he's like, but you got to work with me, man. And he's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, the security goes, we'll let you process it. You just got to pay the whole thing on a credit or debit card. He's like, nah, man, I want to do it with the gift card. And it's like, nah, man, you got to work with this here. And he's like, no, you got to work with me. You got to work with me. I mean, I want to buy it. And it's like, dude, you said you were a reseller. And it was so funny because he literally verbatim, he says, I didn't even say I was a reseller. He just asked me if I was, and I said, yeah. And I was like, so you did.
You
but
admit to
at
being
that
a
point, I
reseller.
was already like in the back. I was already like behind the managers and the security's already like hustling him for it, hassling him. Oh, no, telling him, enforcing the policy. I'm not going to say hassling. They were enforcing. We don't make the rules. We just enforce them.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it off, and I'm like, that's the policy. So, for next time though, if that happens and I'm like, they say they're a reseller and I read it off and they're like, oh, like, give me a manager. I'm like, take it over the corporate puts that rule. I read it off to you right there. No one else here is going to say any different because that's the rule. So
corporate doesn't even care when there's an actual wrongdoing. Like, honestly, they're not going to care about like,
yeah, all they hear union and they're like, oh, the whole thing. But
yeah.
Fuck them. So watch though. This has a very unsatisfying ending and then a satisfying ending. Ooh. So this the first pair of guys, right? They're like, oh, we got to do it. And then so the store manager, she sees this whole hubbub happening. She walks over. She's like, what's going on? Like, they explain the situation. He's a reseller, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, okay. You know what? We're going to let it go for just this one time. But you'll be able to pay it. And then they paid half on the credit or debit card. And I was like, this bitch has no fucking spine.
Yeah.
Because if you, as the store manager, can't back up your employees, you're worthless. Because they're enforcing rules that, like I said, corporate put that rule. Yeah. I didn't just make up a policy. The policy that we have backed is the 50% credit debit card to curb resellers. That one's been a little successful, right? That's a store policy.
Yeah.
And we do always say it's a store policy when we tell customers that. We don't go, they're like, oh, if I want to see it, it's like, that's just a store policy, security, whatever. And so this guy's making a big stink, but this is a corporate policy. I read the policy to him verbatim off of a sheet that's hanging right in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, why would I'm not gonna start making up shit just for the problem. It's because he said I'm a reseller. Like, I already hate them as it is, but yeah, because he said he was, I can now I don't know if it's legally, but I can now deny. Well, yeah, legally. It's a private business. We can deny service to whoever we want.
Yeah.
At that point, he's trespassing.
As long as it's not like against like.
Yeah, as long as I'm not just being like, oh, he's black, I don't want to do it. Or he's white, I don't want to do it. He's Asian, I don't want to do it. It wasn't that. Yeah. He said, I was like, he's a reseller, I don't want to do it. That's a different kind of thing.
That's a different kind of thing.
Fuck resellers. So, because like I'm telling you, they always come in with thousands of dollars. They come with stolen team member numbers, like this whole thing, right? And so he's like, okay, he ponies up, right? Whatever, and then he fucks off. And I was just like, why'd this bitch bend? Like, what is the point of creating a policy if customers can just bitch enough and get around it?
Yeah.
Like, in the front, they accept, you know how trading cards are non-returnable if they're opened. So if they're closed, like let's say if you bought the wrong set or something, oh, go return it. It's fine. But there's a the other day I saw a bunch of open Pokemon card packs that people returned. I'm assuming they just put whatever fucking card in there because
Yeah.
the
No
person's
one's
gonna
gonna
check.
check.
But there was a customer service guy, and he was telling me his story of in the front. He's like, he told them, hey, I can't accept this as a return. And he's like, well, why not? The other store let me do it. And he's like, well, then you might have to go to that store. But it says right here in the policy, when you purchase it, you cannot return this. It is a collectible.
Yeah.
Because it's a random collectible. It's not like, like if you buy a Funko Pop or something and you take it in and out of the box, that's fine. You can still technically return it. But because the cards have a certain amount of value and a certain amount of randomness, you can just return it because you didn't like it. But he ended up returning a bunch of fucking packs because the manager said they could. They're like, yeah, just let him. It's fine. It's like, what is the point? What is the point of having a policy if your managers aren't going to have the backbone to go, that is a policy?
So what you're
Corporate
saying
said
is
that.
when I want to commit fraud, I just go to your Target.
Any Target. No, any Target, any Walmart, you bitch hard enough, you can get whatever you want, apparently. Because these retards are thinking like, oh, the customer's always right. No. The full quote is, the customer is always right in terms of taste. And they were not being tasteful customers.
No.
So these second
I'm pretty sure you couldn't even fix that with seasoning.
Honestly. No, they smelled like shit.
Rotten meat.
Like, no, the guy reeked of BO too.
Oh,
like,
fuck. Of course.
honestly,
Fucking, you said collectible card trading. I'm like, okay.
yeah, collectible card trading. It's like, it's because he's Middle Eastern. No, it's because he's a
DCGs.
collectible card trader.
The collectible card traders
Yeah.
always smell.
So later in the afternoon, right?
Look at me. I'm smelling right now. Fucking-
So this guy, these other Middle Eastern guys come in, right? And it's another young guy and the same uncle. And even one of my coworkers was even like, hey, weren't you just here earlier? And the guy was like, no, check the cameras, no. Like, yeah, dick, because we can check the cameras, you fucking moron. Like, but I'm like 99% sure he just switched his shirt or something. Because, he's there buying shit again.
Yeah.
And so he goes, right? And the young guy is there and he's like, hey, so I want to get like a Switch. And we're like, okay. My coworker's helping him. He's like, he tells him the policy, 50% on a credit or debit card. He's like, no, I want to do the whole thing on gift card. He's like, oh, well, that's store policy. And he's like, okay. And he starts calling. I was like, and I kind of just chime in. I was like, oh, so do you have the credit or debit card? He's like, no, I'm on the phone with corporate. And I'm like, okay, dick. Like, yeah, sure,
Okay.
corporate, whatever. And as he's waiting for like an hour on the phone with corporate, in my head, I'm just playing out this fantasy of like, oh man, I wish I could just talk to the corporate people and be like, yeah, the guy's a piece of shit. He's a reseller and like all this kind of stuff, We're like, that's not gonna happen. Your fantasies don't come true, unfortunately. Your daydream,
Unfortunately.
all the arguments that you make up in your head that you win, they don't come up. Like when you're when you're in the shower and you're like, I just said that would have been perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
I was already creating those scenarios, but I was like, that's not gonna happen. So he comes
just
back,
seething in unending rage.
exactly. So I'm like, I know who. Like my hands are getting sweaty just thinking about it because I'm fucking
just
upset it was.
But I start boxing me out, just like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, hold on.
So he comes back and he's like, okay, I'll take the Switch. And we're like, oh, okay. So 50%. He's like, nah, the whole thing on gift card. And he's still on the phone. And I was like, oh, so like we said, store policy, 50%. He's like,
Mhm.
and he goes, so they're not letting me pay with the gift card. And then, which is not true. We said he can, just the other half of it. And so he puts her on speaker and she's like, oh, am I speaking to the tech person? And my friend, he's like, yeah, it's me. My name is this, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's the store policy. She's like, okay, can I call you guys an electronics phone? I was like, yeah. And I was like, let me get that. So corporate lady calls this into the phone, electronics phone. I'm like, electronics. And she's like, hey, so I was just talking to you guys. I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah. So he tells me that you're denying him service with a gift card. What's going on there? And I was like, well, no. What we said was the store policy set by security was you have to pay 50% of it on a credit or debit card. Because what happens is that resellers will come in, and as I start saying that, I'm like making eye contact with the guy. I'm like, resellers will come in with thousands of dollars worth of credit or debit cards. Oh, I should look there.
Oh yeah,
That's
the thing. That's like,
so I'm all dramatic and it's playing exactly how I thought it was. Like I've rehearsed this. I'm saying it perfectly. I've not stumbled a single word. And I'm like, yeah, resellers will come in with thousands of dollars worth of gift cards, and they'll use stolen team member numbers from other stores and things like that. And so they always come in and try to ask for the limit and purchase a bunch of things. So our head of AP, they put in that policy to help curb them, and it's worked so far. And to be honest, no one really has a problem with it. It's only ever resellers that have problems with it. And at this point, the guy's kind of like, because he's on hold, like he can't.
yeah, he can't hear.
He can't hear her, but he can hear me. So she goes, oh, okay. So just to let you know, he can't actually hear me right now. So do you suspect him of being a reseller? Has he come by a bunch of times and bought a bunch of stuff? And I was like, oh yeah, definitely, because I recognized him from the Southgate store.
Yeah.
Because I'd seen him a bunch of times at the other store buying a bunch of stuff, and of course, like, he's a reseller. And there's no other reason why he would get upset. Every time it's
Yeah.
a legitimate purchase, people have no problem, because legitimate purchases they always pay with cash, card, maybe like 20 or 30 bucks in gift cards. They're like, oh, I got this promotion. I'm
Yeah.
like, cool, you know?
You never
But
really see someone with like over
thousands of dollars.
$100. Yeah.
This man took a fucking stack this big of gift cards out, wrapped in rubber bands. Like, okay, yeah, Dick. Yeah, I'm sure those are all 100% legitimate, right?
Yeah.
And our AP knows that is a scam, which is why they allowed us and that they back us for that. So then she's like, so do you think he's a reseller? And I was like, oh yeah, definitely. She's like, okay, that's all I needed to know. And I was like, she was like, have a good day. And I was like, thank you, you too. Hang up. And it was like at the end of my shift, and I was like, I got it. And then so my coworker, he's like, hey, so what'd they say? I'm like, yeah, policy's still in effect. He's like, gotcha. And I'm like, I will see you later. And I leave. Later on, coworker texts me. He's like, yeah, so the guy got off the phone with corporate and he got all chummy all of a sudden. Because the thing is too, the corporate lady, she was also telling me, she's like, yeah, because the policy starts and stops with you guys basically, because it's a store policy. You guys enforce it. That's how you guys do it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, corporate actually backed us, like,
Ooh.
right? Corporate
Never
backed us.
happens.
Thank you so much, that one Target lady in corporate. I forgot your name, but thank you so much for actually having a spine
Yeah.
and not bending to this guy. Because I mean, yeah, it's such a simple policy, just pay up. And so my coworker goes, yeah, he ponied up. Of course he did. After they told him, so yeah, it's store policy. That's what you have to follow. So he paid the half in the credit debit card. And I know he took a switch and he's gonna resell it. He's gonna ruin someone's fucking
Yeah.
Christmas. That he's gonna ruin a bunch of kids' Christmases basically, because they come in, they buy the limit, and then they're like, they'll come in a few times throughout the day. So once
Yeah.
the shift change happens, they'll just come in and buy from someone else who
Yeah.
doesn't know. Even if they're still enforcing the policy, it's still like, it sucks. Because then it sucks because this one time, this kid comes in, right? And he's like, hey, do you guys have any OLED switches? And I was like, oh, they actually sold out this morning, because like a bunch of people bought them, right? My coworker's like, oh, check the truck, because the truck had just come in.
Mhm.
And I was like, I went and checked. There was one OLED switch left, and I was like, holy shit! And I go, and he's like, he gets so excited. He's a little kid. He gets so excited. I'm like, yes! I'm like making his Christmas. And the mom comes and pays. She's like, oh, I've been looking everywhere. And I was like, oh, is this his Christmas gift? And she's like, it's actually his birthday on Friday. And he was like,
Oh.
yeah. And I was like, yes, yeah,
Yes.
this is the kind of people we got to be selling these. This is the kind of stuff. Like, I wish I
Yes.
could just save it, and then people come in. I mean, I don't want to tell me sob stories or
Yeah.
anything, but like, this is a very sincere person going, yeah, like he's been waiting for this. And the kid was like, yay, he got his Switch. Like, the
Yeah.
mom was getting any
So
Switch at all.
excited.
And the kid gets his OLED Switch, brand new. He's gonna get like his video games, all that kind of stuff. I was like, this is the person we sell to.
Yeah.
Not the guy coming in going, oh, how many Fire Sticks can I get? Oh, limit is 2. Okay, give me 2 of these, 2 of these. No, it's 2 total. Oh, well, I just talked to the AP. He said it was 5. I'm like, no,
What?
he didn't.
Why would you ask?
Yeah, like what? Why would you ask? He didn't say that. But yeah, limit is 2 on Fire Sticks too. And I tell all the coworkers that, because they'll do the same thing. They'll buy a shit ton of them on sale right now and then start reselling them once the price goes back up and all this kind of stuff, stolen numbers. And I was like, I was vindicated, right? This is on a Sunday. Monday morning, head of AP, he comes in and he's like, hey guys, so we had a couple of problems yesterday with the policy, so we're gonna have to stop it. And I'm like, and then everyone else is like, oh crap. And I'm like, actually, corporate, I was like, that's weird, because yesterday when corporate called, they backed us on that. He was like, wait, really? And I was like, yeah, I was surprised too. But yeah, corporate, she said it's a store policy. We can enforce it. It starts and stops with us. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, then keep enforcing it, guys. And I was like, awesome. I was
Perfect.
like, at first I was like, no, like I don't want this shit to go away, because
Yeah.
it's been working so well.
Yeah.
Like, they used to come by like every day when I started, which like 6 months ago when I started. And now they barely even show up. And
Yeah.
when they do show up, I tell them, and then they go, oh, okay. And then they leave, as if they're trying. But everyone is already trained on that. Everyone knows what to look out for. Like, I want to Switch, I want an Oculus, I want a Beats. Like, I don't know, calm down. You get one thing at a time. And it's like it's really helped stop that kind of stuff and allowed more opportunities for actual people to get their gifts
Yeah.
and things like that, which is why I was like, that is such a satisfying ending. I'm glad that one, like,
One corporate
that
lady.
one corporate lady has more backbone than most of the managers in the store.
Honestly.
Like, I don't want to say all of them, because there are a couple of them that are good. They help us, but then they ask for another the other manager on top of them until they get to that one cunt with no backbone.
Yeah.
So And it was funny because he was doing the same thing. He was like, I want to speak to your store director. I want to speak to your store manager. I want to speak to like the next person up. And we were like, we buzzed and we're like, oh, so and so come in. And then they were like, oh, I'm busy right now. And I was like, yeah, so they're busy. So do you want anything else? We have like the security. The guy came up
Yeah.
again. Security guy came. He's like, yeah, that's policy. I have the head of AP. I'm talking to him and he's saying the same thing. Do you want anything else? And then he made this whole fucking thing on corporate back this. Thank goodness for that. But yeah, it's those kind of people that actually help us do our jobs, you know?
Good job, corporate.
Because
You did good this one time.
honestly, because it's not even about like, oh, I want Target to stop losing money. No, it's not about that. It's that I want these toys and these gifts to get into the hands of actual kids who want them.
Yeah, people who actually want to use them and fucking.
Yeah, because then you get these sweaty old people coming in going like, oh, I was told that the Funko was gonna come out today, and there's not any here. So what is going on? I need to make a complaint. I'm gonna start putting reviews bad and stuff like that. You guys are not having the right Funkos on time. You guys are hiding them from us. And every time someone comes in, they're like, so where are the Funkos? They said they're gonna come in today. I'm like, the Funkos? Oh yeah, those are in the children's sections. And the toys just past the Legos, and they'll be like, oh okay, thanks. But I always make a point of doing that, especially if there's other people around. I do it nice and loud, like, oh, the Funkos. Yeah, that's in the children's section, in the toys, past the Legos. Like, why are you a grown ass man coming over here sweating for like Funkos? Like, I understand. You know, you come in and you buy some. Yeah, they look cool. You want to support your creator, or like, you know, support the creator, support the brand, whatever it is. You know, if you're like, hey, I like Nintendo, I'll buy some, whatever. But you're gonna come in and harass people every single day, going like, I have the number right here. Well, it says it was supposed to arrive the day. Why isn't it here? And it's like, can you go check in the back? The back is not some magical place where I can pull stuff out of my ass. The back is where I know where things are. If I tell you it's not in the back, it's because it's not in the back.
I thought you were gonna say it's just where you go eat.
No, technically the front, because there's a whole bunch of like back rooms.
Oh.
But, yeah, I mean, it's not a magical place where we can just, shit, you're right. Let me go check the back. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
It's not like I fucking work here. It's not like I come in every fucking morning and see the inventory in the morning to see what we got. Yeah.
And close out the inventory at the end.
You must think I'm some kind of dumbass who just comes in and goes, what's in the inventory today? Who knows? I won't know till someone asks me. You asked me to check, sir? I'm not going to know. Do I have to check in the back? No? Oh, okay. I guess I'll never know. Like, no, you fucking moron. Like, if they tell you it's not in the back, you can't go, oh, check again. Check anyways.
Yeah.
Check anyway. No, like, get out of my fucking site.
Get out of my store.
Get out of my fucking site. Get out of my
I'm the boss. Get out of my store.
I'm the fucking boss. Get out of my site. Get out of my fucking podcast. I think that's broke too Friday. Let's go eat.
Let's go eat. I'm starving.
Food. Broke till Friday.
We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Bye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.